Wanna take a walk around the world, wonder would it do me any good, till I get some honey in my pockets, and I guess I'll just have to walk around my neighborhood. I wanna be good so bad, wanna be so good, so bad, so bad. I wanna be good so bad. Bad desire's all I ever had. Wanna take a ride up in the sky, watch as airplanes just pass me by. And I wanna see a Lear jetliner take a dive, just to show all of these people what it means to be alive. I wanna be good so bad, I wanna be so good, so bad, so bad. I wanna be good so bad. Bad desire's all I ever had.
Anyway, hello, my name is Matt. I'm an obsessive compulsive attention deficit hyperactive codependent alcoholic addict. And I've got 3 years clean off of meth. And I mean, it's been a long road, but I don't know, where do you want me to start? What do you want me to, you just want me to tell my story, or? Okay. So my first introduction to drugs was when I was like 12 or 13. I started smoking weed, and through middle school we were all smoking cigarettes, and that was like the cool thing to do. And we're, being a part of the cool crowd kind of led down to other things. Like I started doing meth when I was 16, meth, coke, ecstasy, acid, pretty much all the party drugs, because we were we were ravers back then, and we went to lots and lots of parties, saw lots of awesome DJs. And I don't know, that's something I really miss, because I'd love to, there's no shows around here anymore, except for if you go to like Chicago, I'd love to see Tiesto, but I don't know if it would be as fun for me anymore if I wasn't, on X or anything like that. But anyway, so that kind of spun out of control. I started selling meth in high school, and I dropped out, and then continued to use until I was like 19. Then me and all my friends, we decided just to quit and just drink. So we quit using the hard stuff, and we just kind of drank through all of our 20s. And then I relapsed when I was like 27 on meth secretly. So I would like leave the bars and drive to the dope house secretly and hang out with people that were using. The funny thing is that when I was doing that, I figured out a hangover is definitely not your lack of water. Because like when you're hungover as hell, you can sit around and drink water all day and still feel like shit. Well, I used to be absolutely too drunk to drive, and I would leave the bar and I'd go to the dope house, take one hit of dope, and I'd be instantly sober. So I'd be sitting there drinking water, and like 3 or 4 hours later, I'd be like, why the fuck do I feel hungover? I stopped drinking. I'm high. So I think that a hangover is your body craving alcohol, because, once you take a drink, your hangover goes away. So that went on for years and years. And then the cat kind of got out of the bag. All my lifelong friends who I would drink with kind of turned their back on me, and that was really devastating. They stopped talking to me. They're like, well, if you're using, we don't want nothing to do with you. But I was already too deep into the game by then to stop, and I had a couple kids, and that wasn't even enough for me to stop. And then I started shooting up again, and then it went downhill from there, like really fast. I got a conspiracy to manufacture charge, went to prison on that. I think I was in Anamosa State Penitentiary for like, it wasn't that long. It was only like 6 months. And then they shipped me to a minimum camp, Luster Heights, in, where was that? Harpers Ferry, Iowa. It was a beautiful camp. There was no fences. There was no walls. I mean, you could literally just walk off the property if you wanted to. but you're, minimum security, you're on your way home. So it'd be stupid as hell to do that. Plus you're in the middle of the forest, but you had a nice view of the Mississippi River there. And there was good outs jobs. Like they took me from camp to walk on to work in the city. And I mean, I enjoyed it. They had really good treatment. They had like 3 full treatment programs going on at once. So that was, but I wasn't even ready. Some of the best treatment in the state of Iowa I was getting, and I had it in my head that fuck this, I'm gonna get high as soon as I get out, because I had a bowl already. I had a bowl stashed under my computer with like a half gram in it. That's all I was thinking about when I was in prison. I was like, oh, can't wait to get home and smoke that dope. Yeah. So, and then my mom picked me up when I got released. Oh, damn it. Fucking fire safe cigarettes. So my mom picked me up when I got released. And this was in February. So it was snowing. The roads were bad. She did have my truck, my 4-wheel drive pickup, and I told her to put it in 4-wheel drive, but she wouldn't listen. And we spun out and went into the ditch, and we had to get pulled out. But I was supposed to see my PO that day, and we called him. He's like, "Oh yeah, it's fine. Come in tomorrow." And I'm like, "Son of a bitch! Now I got to wait till tomorrow to get high. Fuck!" So I fucking went and saw him yesterday, or not yesterday, but the day after, and it was just off to the races from then. I remember after I took the bus back from the PO's office back to my mom's house, smoked that dope, and then I called my buddy Zach, who's in federal prison right now. He's like, "Yeah, come over. I got some fire ass shit." And I didn't waste any time. I went to the pharmacy, grabbed a bunch of rigs, and went over to his house and spent my gate fee all on dope. All the money that I had saved while I was in the joint, which wasn't much. It was like $150, but still, I at least got at least a gram. But and then some. I can't remember how much I got. But that went on for 2 years. I was able to stay out, dodging my PO, dodging UAs, and then I finally just stopped going to see him. And then they put a warrant out for me. And then when you got a warrant for just not seeing your PO, it's not like they don't really send people out looking for you. They'll just like, yeah, if you get pulled over, we'll pick you up then. So I did get pulled over. This chick that I was seeing, the dude that was with us really wanted to bang her. So they called me in, and I'm like, "You fucking dicks, dude," but whatever. And so I went to jail, and luckily I was on parole, because if I'm going straight I'm going to go to the facility. So it's only like a 2-week wait. So basically I go see the ALJ over the phone. My PO is there. He's like, "Yeah, they're going to have a bed ready for you tonight." So I went to work release, completed work release, got a new job, started using again. And then I started scrapping to, fulfill my habit plus the job. I was actually able to hold a job fairly well when I was, in my active addiction. That was usually the last thing that went, because I wouldn't get fired because I wasn't showing up. I'd get fired because I'd go to jail. So I always had a job on the back burner, but I would stay up all night and go scrapping in the middle of the night. And then I found that I got this crazy lick, dude. I figured out that they can take empty kegs back to the freaking store and get a $30 deposit. So every night while I was scrapping, I'd go behind restaurants and grab a shitload of kegs and take them in, and I get like about $120 a day. So that would feed my habit. But then I got really reckless with it, because I just walked into to a restaurant out back while they were open and just started grabbing all their empty kegs. And this kid that worked there walked out. He's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Mind your fucking business. Get out of my way." So they called that in. I was done. I wasn't really concerned about getting caught, obviously. So they were building a case on me for that. I went to jail. My boss bonded me out, and then they were building a case for these air conditioner. So there's this old this old Hobby Lobby over by my mom's house, and so in the middle of the winter it closed down, but there was a big industrial air conditioner behind it. So I was like, "Oh, it's closed. It's the winter time." So I just started taking the air conditioner apart, and I was working on it for 2 weeks. nobody was ever back there. So I was just piece by piece. I was taking that massive air conditioner apart. I think I got $600 in scrap for it, but somehow I think I took a piece of it to a different scrapyard that had a serial number on it. And then they kind of connected the dots then that way. But so they were investigating that, and they were investigating the keg returns and shit. So I was so paranoid at work. It was a lawn mowing business. And I told a couple guys, I'm like, listen, if you see any freaking cops here, or if anybody's asking questions, call and let me know so I can take off. And well, that guy didn't do that because we were getting back to work that day, and there was like 15 cop cars at the shop, and they came and got me then. But it was nice because I was like, fuck, it's finally over, dude. I don't have to run. I don't have to look over my shoulder anymore, which was a great feeling. And I kind of rolled with that. The second I got to jail, I'm like, sorry, I forgot. Rewind a little bit. I had found Dopey then. Hold on. Let me just light this cigarette real quick. Sorry. Some habits never die. Anyway. So I got off work while I had a warrant, just feeling super hopeless. And I think I told this on the Patreon, but it's probably pretty important to know how you guys know how I found Dopey. I was into podcasts. My buddy at work at the lawn mowing place got me into, he's like, do you listen to podcasts? I'm like, not really. I mean, I know of the app, but I've never really messed with it. He's like, if you're into paranormal stuff, which I was, he's like, check out Mysterious Universe. And I still listen to that to this day. I was like hooked. But then I went home and I was feeling just, hopeless. Like, is this shit gonna ever end? And I just searched meth in the podcast app. And this mini series called, what was it? Hawaii's New Ice Age. I think it's still on there. It's about meth in Hawaii. It's like a 5-part series. And then I listened to that first, and then Dopey came up, and I was like, oh, these guys are fucking great. And then when the cops were so I had been listening to Dopey a little bit for about a few weeks, and then I got busted at the shop. And then I wrote Chris in jail or in prison. I had one of my friends get the address to write them at, and Chris responded instantly. So he gave my friend his address. I wrote to now I know it was definitely Chris because his name in Boston. And then he posted my letter on Instagram. And I actually did get somebody wrote me from, where was it? California. And she was like, share like the dope, like let's hear a Dopey story or whatever. So I wrote her a letter about it was the cockroach one, and she never wrote me back. So I think that was a little too dopey for her, I guess. I don't know. I don't really know much about her, but it was cool that somebody actually read the Instagram post and reached out, and and especially at that time in my life when I was ready to hang it up for good, and using all the resources I could to stay clean. My mom sent me a book while I was in prison. This is the second time I was in prison. I've only been to the joint twice. But this is the time when I was getting my shit together. But she sent me a book called Rational Recovery, The Revolutionary Alternative to Alcoholics Anonymous. And I'd been reading the big book. But this guy, Jack Trimpey, started this thing called Rational Recovery. And it basically shows you, or it tells you how you can recover on your own without a higher power, without group support. A lot of the stuff in there I don't agree with. Like, he bashes on AA quite a bit. He bashes on, the higher power. And, I just kind of went for the meat and potatoes of the program, which was your addictive voice recognition technique. When you take it and make it its own entity and give it a name, basically when you get these thoughts in your head saying, oh, I want to get high, I'll be like, shut up, Larry. And it fucking works. It's crazy. It works for me. And I've used that to this day. But, I still use group support. I'm a big supporter of group support. I'm honestly a supporter of whatever gets you to where you're, to live a happy life, alt recovery. So, that book may not be for anybody, but it was for me. So, and then after that, I got out, started listening to Dopey again, just so I could hear him talk about my letter. But in the process of that, I ended up getting hooked to the show. And they never read the letter on the show, which was fine. But, I think I had started from episode 1 on, and I think I was halfway through when I heard that Chris had died. So, and that was devastating. But I mean, yeah, man, life is excellent now. I have more than I could ever dreamed of. I have you guys, and I'm part of an awesome community that really gives a shit about people. My kids, I got my kids back. Haven't had them overnight yet, but baby steps. Got a beautiful place. I got a beautiful life, beautiful girlfriend, everything. I owe a lot of it to Dopey for sure, because if I didn't have that extra support system, who knows what could have happened. But yeah, that's about it.
Take a walk around the world. I wonder would it do me any good? Until I get some money in my pocket, well I guess I'll just have to walk around my neighborhood. 'Cause I wanna be good so bad. I wanna be good so bad, so bad. I wanna be good so bad. Bad desire's all I ever had. I wanna take a ride up in the sky and watch those aeroplanes just pass me by. I wanna see a Lear jetliner take a dive to show all of these people what it means to be alive. 'Cause I wanna be good so bad. I wanna be good so bad, so bad. I wanna be good so bad. Bad desire is all I ever had. And my shadow is getting smaller and smaller, and I know where I stand. My shadow is getting smaller and smaller, and I know where I stand. Wonder would they pay me any mind when I leave this busted city far behind. I'll take the high road